Lynn Corum.
Thank you, Phil, and thank you all for coming. And we thank the church for hosting this event in the community of West Brattleboro. My name is Lynn Corum. My husband Jesse and I moved this area in 1977, and we've raised our two sons here and have enjoyed the community and the great friends that we've made since we've been here. The reason I have chosen to run has been basically boosted by the learning that all the Democratic candidates would support the closing of Vermont Yankee. This is a large employer in our area. We have a great need to have good employment in this area. Windham County has been the slowest, I believe it's the slowest, if not the slowest, it's the second slowest county in development in the state. And to drive out a big employer of 650 high, well-paying jobs seemed to me incongruous when everyone talks about the need for jobs, the need to feed the hungry, the need for housing. All this stuff falls into place when you have jobs. You don't have those issues. The best social program is a good job. And I think that we need to not have just lip service that we support jobs. We really ought to actually support them. And by closing Vermont Yankee and buying our electricity from someplace else, we are basically throwing jobs out of our state. And everybody talks about how bad it is that we export jobs to other countries, other states, and that's exactly what this would do. The ramifications in reading the state's report, which the legislature commissioned to have done on the financial impact of Vermont Yankee, are enormous. I think they'll hit our county particularly hard. Supposedly, according to this study, it will take till 2032 for our economy to recover. I think as a legislator, our responsibility is to support jobs and not cherry pick which ones we like and which ones we don't.
Our next candidate is Rick Morton, who is running for a House seat from District 1. This is District right here.
Thank you very much. I've been a resident of Vermont for about 20 years. Came up here from Connecticut. I looked around for where I was going to choose to live, and it occurred to me that Vermont has the best of all possible worlds. Income tax, sales tax, and property tax. Got them all. So if you want to be supportive of government, you can move here and pay all those taxes and they'll keep going up. The reason I came up here actually was to be a pastor at a church over in Hinsdale. I served there for 7 years and 6 additional years over in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. But I've lived here the whole time and been bivocational. I work at a local bank and am an officer of that bank as a compliance officer and security officer. I have seen a few things that just puzzle me. One of them is a legislature which seems to me to be acting irresponsibly as a whole. There was a long discussion about budget matters this year, and I don't think they handled it well. But that's not what got me to the point where I would decide to actually run. I had a discussion with Ginny Milkey, the previous representative from this district, about an issue of very significant importance to me, and she listened. I give her credit for listening, but she did not at all respond as I'd hoped that she would. Now, of course, she's got a wide constituency, so she's not going to just change her viewpoint because I called her and spoke to her on the phone for 20 minutes. But it occurred to me that the only real way for me to have the influence I was hoping to have upon a legislator was to perhaps become one.
The first question that I would like to present to this body, what do you think is the most important challenges facing Windham County and the town of Brattleboro today? And Ms. Stewart, if we could start with you, we're going to work down this way.
Yeah.
So if you could address that question.
Should we stay seated or?
Pardon? You may stay seated, yes. Can you just speak up so that we
Yeah,
can make sure people can
absolutely.
hear you?
Yeah, I think the big challenge is job creation. So, and I think we have a lot of opportunities in that regard. I think that we have some really great bodies and including the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation, working to create jobs in entrepreneurial and creative economy sectors. And I think that the recent attraction of, I believe the name is Commonwealth Dairy, to this area is a real coup and a feather in our cap, and I think it's bodes well for the future in terms of our ability to attract companies that have values that are compatible with the values of Vermonters and those who choose to move here. I also think that, Omega is an amazing success story and is the kind of company we can attract here. And I read recently that first of all, small businesses have always been the economic engine for this country. And so I think there is great potential in small businesses being attracted here if we get our healthcare costs under control, which I believe this legislature is predisposed to do. So I think we have a great future in the entrepreneurial. Also, agritourism is just a great area for us. So much has been happening in buying local, and contrary to the doom and gloomers, we actually diversified farms and farms in new sectors. Windham County, I believe, today on the TV there was a Windham Planning Commission talk, and it was about, part of one factoid that was thrown out was we have more small farms and diversified farming interests being attracted here. So I think we have